Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Playing with Newton's Laws. This is my new old game called Careful. It's made by Ideal in 1967, making this a game it's even older than I am. And the object of this game is to basically not be the person removing one of the pieces when the whole tower falls down. This is a beautiful demonstration of Newton's first law of motion, which states that an object at rest will remain at rest unless acted upon by an outside force. And so long as I'm not acting upon this tower will sit here like it has for the last half hour continuously. However, once I introduce an outside force, it's going to start to move. What we're going to be looking out for, because this takes so long to set back up, is Newton's first law that's saying an object in motion will remain in motion until acted upon by an outside force. So basically, once it starts to fall, it's going to continue to fall, basically nonstop, until it hits the floor, the outside unbalanced force of the floor that holds everything up at the moment. Once it starts to fall, it's just going to keep falling. You're going to notice that I can't stop any of those pieces because I just can't catch them all. Each one of them would need to be acted upon, and there's a lot of pieces for every single one of these levels. That brings us to Newton's second law. A force is required to accelerate a mass. So I can use the force to accelerate the spinner right here, which is going to tell me which piece I need to remove. And this one is saying that I need to remove one of the green pieces. So I can use my outside force, my unbalanced force of my hands right here, to kind of gently scoot some pieces around until I'm able to remove my piece. It took a force, my muscles, the force of my muscles, to accelerate the mass, basically to move it out from its original position. And so a force is required to accelerate a mass. And now I'm going to continue to use that force to accelerate these masses to continue to remove it. But this brings up Newton's third law. For every force, there is an equal and opposite force. Notice that every time I try to scoot one of these pieces, we see the tower resisting. So by pushing one way, the tower resists in the opposite direction. This is fundamental. Basically, it means that I'm going to encounter resistance. That's what friction is all about. For every force, there is an equal and opposite force. So I have to remove these pieces while there are counter forces acting. So I spun a red here, but I'm allowed to try to move pieces to help stabilize this. So in removing the red, it doesn't just automatically fall over. But notice every time I move something one way, the tower resisted in the other. It's this kind of constant wanting to seek equilibrium. For every force, there's an equal and opposite. By pushing one way, it pushes the other way. When the objects fall, they're going to fall downwards. There's friction of the air pushing against them, and basically when they land, that upwards becomes the opposite. They're their mass right now. The mass pushing down is being equaled by the upwards force that's basically being the stabilizing force against it. So we're going to continue playing here, and we're going to be watching for that critical moment here for Newton's Newton's first law. Once the objects are in motion, they're going to stay in motion. We'll see how we can do that here slowly, a little bit at a time. And I think we're probably getting pretty close to that point where things are going to become fairly unstable fairly soon. But it's also a beautiful demonstration of how all these principles work together. Every single time I need to move something, well, there we go. Newton's first law. Objects in motion, once they started to fall, they were going to fall. No amount of me saving them was going to stop that. Hope you enjoyed playing with Newton's law and my new game, Careful.